Welcome to another episode of the APL Spotlight Series. We have guests come on who are just absolutely phenomenal that are part of the regular show, Angels, Positivity, and Love. Sometimes the guest has been on 2 or 4 times. Sometimes they've yet to come on, but they've recorded the main show that'll happen in the future. But we just love the guests so much. We want them back on as soon as possible. This show generally airs within 72 hours of the day it tapes. So just a quick footnote for folks. The main show in 2025 is going to 2 shows a week, down from 3. In 2023, we had 1 show a week, and we upped it in June of 2024. The bottom line is we're booked all the way out to August of 2026. Fabulous guests the world over with incredible insights and a lot to share with us. Plus, oftentimes off camera, on camera, it's not a must. They take steps with the universe. That could be angels, guides, loving beings, galactic beings, figures from India, Native American chiefs, and even their own passed over loved ones and pets, including horses. So everything's direct. It's really what will you allow for? If you took away the show and all the guests, what are you allowing for daily? I'll do one quick reminder. I don't think I've done this in 50 tapings. Just show love more. Remember love when you can remember to remember. If you can remember, 'tis the season. And today, coming back to us, she's got 3 shows on the main lineup that she's in. She was episode 79 on June 19th, 2024. She'll be episode 180 March 2nd of 2025. Those are taped, and she's coming back in the future, end of the year of 2025, October 22nd, I think it is, episode 247. We still have to record that one. But here she is, Pauline Rafaela. She's the author of The Little Blue Room.
Yeah.
She's a spiritual teacher, counselor, channel, master herbalist, and much more. Show host, co-host with a wonderful fellow who's hyper intuitive. And I'd like to just welcome Pauline back. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back, Michael. Thank you so much. Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Time for a lot of abundance. Okay, time to shift perceptions and step up many rungs of the ladder all at once.
And you've been doing this an awfully long time. You run a pretty tight ship, and you're in demand. People come to you all the time for all sorts of stuff. They shouldn't be shy, and they can reach out to you. You have a great website booking system and the rest. What have you been noticing in the last 6 months that's different than anything else along the entire trajectory of your intuitive career? What have you been noticing lately?
Well, the energies are shifting. And so and I've been saying this for a long time, okay? But I'm seeing it. It's like the energies are shifting and the timelines are shifting. You got to get on the higher timelines. You got to jump up to the higher time. You got to do some work. You got to get on the higher timelines because there's going to be so much soaring higher and abundance and so much amazing opportunities coming in that you don't want to miss it. So I'm seeing lots of people jumping up and I'm seeing lots of people staying stagnant. So we want to try to shift that. All right. We want to try to shift that with love, with doing some healing work. But ultimately, there's a lot of very good things coming. I want people to know that. A lot of very good things coming.
What does staying stuck or at least stagnant look like? Is it sort of rinse, repeat, doing the rat race, lots of thinking, going to work every day, and not really having much fun daily?
That's part of it. The other part of it I see a lot of is fighting to hold on to old consciousness, old belief systems, still fighting for certain things under old belief systems, not letting the belief systems go. In my book, I talk about you've got to let go of all your belief systems, even the ones you think are good. Let them go because there is something new coming in. And this book will open you up. It will help you transform because you'll read a story that you will be able to relate to, as many people do. And it begins to shift the consciousness about how to perceive things that happen to us, how to move through them, how to become a little more enlightened, right? How to raise your consciousness level. So the book is highly recommended. People tell me all the time as they're reading it, they're transforming, they're opening, they're awakening, and that is what we need.
Now, the concept of surrendering or letting go, there's a lot of connotations to it. It could be groups or organizations that have taken advantage of that, of human beings in the past. So it can be a very fearful concept and something that people react to. Is it true that there's really nothing to lose, nothing to gain, even if you're letting it go? It doesn't mean it can't come right back, or that you didn't like let go of something permanently necessarily, or you did in another sense. In a good way, you might have shifted. But can you explain the dynamic that it's not at the thinking level, the control level, the details level? There's just something bigger going on. You're allowing the clutter of your garage up here to get reorganized a little, aren't you?
Yeah, yes, when you surrender, you reach a point where you can't control and fight something anymore. And you reach that level of I need something bigger and higher than me to help me sort through this or figure it out. And so you surrender. You let go of what you think is right, you let go of what you know, you let go of trying to control and fix and all of that. And that exactly what you said opens space for something new to come in, whether it's a consciousness, whether it's an opportunity or whatever. Because when we're fighting to hold on to something, we're keeping doors closed. We're actually resisting instead of opening to surrender to allow in something new.
So when Angel said, and this is probably like 10 years ago, it might be in my little listening to Angels book. It's been a number two. I got a plug. It's been a number two bestseller twice. So I don't think anybody gets to claim that in America. Number two
Amazing.
twice. Yeah, on Amazon. So Angel said there's no right or wrong. There is proper understanding. So somehow there's a really just stagnant black and white, one dimensional, two dimensional way linear that we've always operated. And you're saying it's beyond that.
It is beyond that. Because if we're stuck in linear thinking, which is goes back to the first thing I said, right? The level of consciousness where I see the splitting off, where the people are trying to understand higher levels of consciousness, be it right or wrong or good or bad, whatever it is, just trying to understand something higher, versus those who are just staying stuck and holding on to the old belief system. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us stuck in a loop. It keeps us stuck on the same merry-go-round. Can't get off the merry-go-round. We've got to change the thinking.
We're going to, with your permission, stay right here and keep circling around this because it's so important. But at some point, it'd be great to blow sage, bring in angels, bring in Big Mary, bring in Mary Magdalene, and have you just do a little listening. It maybe they just give you a couple of keywords and then you get to go on the way you're doing right now with answers or explaining or bringing light to the topic. But with that, I'm gonna just mentioning. I'm gonna mention this quote, another quote from Angels I have right here. Through awareness and owning the consequences of one's thoughts and actions, a person begins to see how all of life is truly interconnected and one. Can you take that one and run with it a little bit?
Well, everything starts with a thought, right? And then a feeling, and then an action. And so it is all connected. And if you have a thought, and sometimes thoughts are subconscious, right? We're aware of our conscious thoughts. Yes, I want more abundance, right? Or I want more money. But then there's the subconscious thoughts in there, which are like, well, you're not getting more money. Your parents didn't have more, or only some people get more money. You've got to dig into the subconscious to find where the blocks are, where the resistance is. But there is an absolute sort of I want to say like a train of manifesting thought, action, creating, and it is all connected. And where people get disconnected is in the subconscious. And the problem with that is because you're not aware of what's in your subconscious. You're only aware with what's in your conscious mind, which is fine. But sometimes we got to dig deeper. And that's where the stronger connection happens, or where the healing or the resistance lets go. That's very important.
Let's do this. Let's show everybody their butts, but it's not meant to be the way it sounds. It's meant to get the listener, the watch, the viewer here to say the word but out loud and challenge what I'm about to bring up. So if you have pen and paper, pause this, go get it, bring it back, because the goal here is to have the person who's checking this out say, but what about this part of my life? And have a reaction to the following statement. I'm going to blow some sage. I'm going to buy time. You can just hear our voices. Go get the pen and paper on the kitchen counter right now. We want you to say but or throw a wrench into what we're about to say, so you can start to see where you're putting up your resistance internally, subconsciously, consciously. You're going to help tackle this for everybody. But I'm going to say a really, really contentious statement from angels and light some sage. And here it comes. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. And every one of us should be yelling but at the screen right now. But my bank account. I've got 19 dogs and cats. You don't understand my situation. I'm on my 7th divorce in 7 weeks. I've got a really good divorce lawyer, but I can't pick them. And the court systems move fast. Okay, here's the sage first. Catch a little sage. If you've watched the show before through 2 screens, there's no time and space the way we're thinking. It's just like thinking itself, like she's saying, it's not what you think it is. It's easy to let go of what you know long enough to be in your heart. That's all this is about, I think, is just you can be here or you can be here. You can't do both. And so, Pauline, are you catching sage? You're in Oyster Bay. Do I say it that right? I've been there. Trees. I love it there. Such a good feeling.
It's Glen Cove, Oyster Bay. Yep, it's all,
yes,
it's all the same stretch of trees, land.
If you'll close your eyes and get an extra feeling, smell, geometric light symbol patterns, anything on your eyes, and then take us the next step, because you're already getting all this and ready to take us the next bit of talking. Sorry, I've lost all my English. But what did you get from all of this?
So, I mean, what I was getting was, I love what you said about the, the but. And so instead of saying, but I have this, I have that, you don't understand. When you use the word but, yes, I have this, I have that, but I can change it. But I can change it. I have the power to change it because everything works out for me in my life. Even if I can't control how that happens, everything works out for me. That's the but that you have to replace.
But wait, my problem is no one understands. I'm in this situation at work, at my relationships. It's not happening. I haven't met the loved one. I'm stuck in the same job. I'm afraid to start the new company that I've talked about for 10 years that every one of my cousins has said, you should, you really should. But 10 years went by and I haven't done it yet. Blah, blah, blah. You're saying flip the but and turn it into a positive.
Flip it. Say, yeah, all of this has happened, yada, yada, right? But I can change it if I want. I can change this. I can change the energy. I can change the patterning because I have the power to change myself, to evolve myself. That's the but that needs to be inserted instead of the but I can't, but it won't, but it's terrible, but it's hard, but it's too much. Forget that. It is. I get it. It is. I get it. It's totally. But you have to say, I can change it. And I do this all the time. I mean, I don't even need but anymore. I just say to everything, if there's like a little concern that pops into my head or whatever, my instantaneous thought at this point is everything works out for me. Everything that works out for me, that's going to work out for me. And okay, I'm good now. And I'm fine. And I trust. And that's the place we have to get to. We have to get there.
More trust, even if you're not feeling your heart or feeling like, oh, I can't do what she's doing. I can't be that brave or bold. More trusting. But for some people, it might take 1,000 little micro moments of trusting. Others, it's like 5 times. They're just like cliff, waterfall, and jump. They're like bridge, bungee cord, and jump. They're like, I got this. And you're like, whoa, I need to watch 30 more people do it. I need to spend 40 minutes processing. And when I'm going to triple check all my knots. And then even then, I'm still going to take 10 minutes of delay before I leap off the bridge. I'm holding on tight. And even then, I'm never doing it again after the one time I bungee cord jumped. I mean, it's a lot to let go. The brain, people have this ability to hold on, like out of control holding on.
Yeah, well, holding on is fear of the unknown, right? Because even though you might not like where you are, it's still familiar. And something that's familiar still feels more comfortable than something that is unknown. So we have to have a little courage, right? We have to have a little courage. But I'm telling you, if you just change that but to, but I can change this. I don't know how, but I can change this, or I can change me, or how I respond to this, or how I feel inside. That I think is a first great step.
Mm. And you could go crazy and just make it up. You could write, you could say, I am love. I'm cool with the universe being bigger than I think it is. I'm cool for getting some help. And I'm cool for not knowing exactly how this is going to work out, but I'll trust that the universe can get in here and I say, make it so. And
Yes.
amen, rock and roll. Thank you. Om Saram if you're from India. Own it with some sort of set your intent. Okay, I'm going to read another little passage to you from angels. I'm going to put up joy and I'm going to have you crank it out because you're really good at concise answers. Here's what's up with mankind? Why all this change? Angels, lots of love coming in, more consciousness. You can hop on that train, but there's nothing to hop onto. It's your own heart. Just touch your heart more. Here's a couple quotes from angels. Awareness for mankind is on the horizon. Call it a spiritual awakening if you wish. It's a chance for all to grow. Mankind's ready for more unconditional love and compassion for all, and more compassion by all for all is needed. Mankind's ready for change from rat race mode. Happiness is obtained in the absence of ego. Ego's afraid to be vulnerable, to let go, and to be in the unknown. Again, there's nothing to lose and nothing to gain. Move past seeing the negative. And then here's joy. If you can get one or two keywords plus a beautiful floral scent, why not? And a hug. And now, Pauline Rafaela in New York. What do you got for us?
The change in consciousness, all right, that needs to happen is already there, and you already want it. You want it. So don't be afraid of it. You want it, and that is why you are here. So stop resisting that which you desire and that which you have already asked for.
Hmm. And that was a little bit of like Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, light beings talking, or the universe speaking through you. I love it. Can we just do it like a simple vacuuming exercise? I happen to vacuum. I love cleaning before I do a show as a way of sort of just expanding my space around the house, a physical act of like, hey, let's clean something, at least the sink or something. So if it's vacuuming, we all know when we've thought about vacuuming, boy, we notice the dust, and that's a Buddhist expression, the dust, the clutter. And we've talked about, or we thought about for a month vacuuming. And then if you're single, young in your 20s, you might have put it off for a while. Now you got dust bunnies running around. Um, you can actually vacuum and be happy about it. You can actually have fun vacuuming. The smallest task can be enjoyable. Thich Nhat Hanh. So talk to us again about how this isn't about anything complex. It sounds like it. And people listening to you are like, whoa, how does she do this? But you're like, and then the rest of it is,
Yeah, well, because it's already in you. And so we have to stop being so shocked by by
I love
by
that.
by the power that we have. And as I think it's said in the Course in Miracles, right? We fear our power and our light much more than we fear our darkness or our limitation. And that is the challenge now, is to push through that. You've got to be done with that limitation. You've got to be done with it. And so we have to stop being so shocked at the things that we can do and the person that we can become, and stop thinking only some people can do it and I can't or others can't. No, it's in everyone. That programming is in every one of us.
Ah, brilliant. So I don't ask too many big picture questions of angels in the last 13 or 14 years. I mean, I didn't ask who killed JFK, but I did ask, do they drink the coffee when they're here as full-on humans? And the answer is yes. And so that's kind of cool. But I asked Dale once one really big question. If everybody yelled kumbaya, put a hand on their heart, wanted to be in their own heart, and wanted to go full crazy open, full love and flowing, how fast could humanity up its ante up its vibration and actually get across the not finish line because growth never stops. And he
Hmm.
said 3 hours, and that was 13 years ago. So that's a lot of hours
Wow.
later. But here's Dale, a angel who coached a famous Olympic athlete. Have him weigh in on something that you're like, oh yeah, I just talked about that last week. And if you don't mind carrying the torch, then and doing the professional Pauline Raphaela, you have a way of making everything sound easy and smooth. Okay, what's Dale got for you? He's like a Greg Kinnear if you want to see him in your mind's eye. He loves that actor. If you don't know that actor, he says fine, George Clooney, but he prefers Greg Kinnear. What are you getting from Dale?
So what I'm getting from Dale is, look, uh, you've got to just get on the bandwagon and stop resisting, okay? And you just get on it, even if you don't know where you're going, even if you don't know how to do it, just start to get on it and start change your thought. Know everything can work out, and like you said, baby steps.
Hmm.
But believe that you can, and believe that you can, believe that you will, because it's so simple, and that belief and that knowingness is already in us. It's already in there. So stop suppressing it. Stop pretending like maybe it's not there. It is there. It's almost like, damn it, I'm going to let my power out. And I'm done with not letting my power out. And I'm done with being so limited. Even if you have no idea how that's going to happen, but you making that statement, making that claim, making that conviction to yourself, and stamp your own uh, um, fists on your own table and say, "I am going to do that. I am that." It's do it. Step up, shift the thinking, get on the bandwagon and let the bandwagon carry you.
Once again, this is another very powerful series of statements from you. So thank you for this. Incredible. And we're going to go on a loop-de-loop detour and come right back to this point. But if somebody wanted to put their hand out, it doesn't matter what direction. There's no right or wrong way to put your hand out. Like you're getting $50 off camera, on camera. You can ask an angel right now to connect to you with love, light. You don't have to use your hands if you're really good at this. You can just ask angels to come in. I'm going to do a quick stall on this. I'm going to show my energy, but I'm going to put up Joy right now. Pauline, if you don't mind putting a hand out in any direction and just ask her to come in and get whooshed. Get a lot of love. It's the holidays. What the heck? Go crazy. If anybody wants extra help at home, turn up the volume like that 1970s stereo component or receiver, those really fancy big knobs. Just breathe more. Shoulders up and down means you're breathing. And what are you feeling right now from Joy? Getting a big whoosh?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot, and believe it, like a lot of violet light sort of flowing in through my hand, going up my arm, and it's going into the heart. So
Yay.
yeah, to me that's like a little bit of a clearing, just like a violet light. We always use that to clear energy and to clear the energy body. So I feel that because ultimately we want to feel joy.
Aw. And I'm gonna show my light. You don't have to show yours. And at home, you're seeing it all the time. It's a constant. But your brain is so big at blocking everything, love, fun, everything that you want to have happen that you would sign up for in a heartbeat. Your brain is the only thing that's getting in the way. A little bit of thinking. It's like the beginning of Christmas Carol Scrooge. A little piece of cheese down here that's upsetting my stomach. That's what I'm hearing and seeing. It's not Jacob Marley himself. And by the end of the book, we forget 79 pages later that Scrooge, who we all agreed was the biggest jerk in the world, welcome to our worst days. By the end of the book, he's the nicest guy in the world. He embodies joy. He still does good business, so you can have a career too. We're not asking you to go kumbaya and join a Tibetan monastery, but we're just asking you to lighten up a little. This is a background. Blue skies number one. You get to see blue, green, gold. But Pauline, you get to ask the universe halfway through this. After you get my filament of light between my fingers, I did this. They did this in Celestine Prophecy, but a guest, Sue Frederick, said, "Nah, we were doing this before the movie was made back in the 1970s this way. And in India, they do it this way, but I'll be standing, so it's really awkward to do it this way." If you don't mind asking the angels and the universe to do extra all over my light later, you'll get objects, a geometric pattern, something cool. People have been going crazy lately. Can't wait to do that on your next recording for the late October show of 2025. You're so much fun to have on. Um, Here we go. Give yourself permission to let go. I'm going to tell a dad joke. She's heard this one before, but That doesn't hold her back from laughing again. Case in point, each moment you have an opportunity to laugh. Santa's reindeer, Blitzen, Dancer, just those two. Why do they drink so much coffee, Blitzen and Dancer? Because they're Santa's Starbucks. And what light do you see between my fingers?
Well, I'm seeing I'm seeing sort of like I want to say it's kind of like a yellow. I want to say it's kind of like a yellowish light.
Okay.
Yeah, as you keep moving your fingers, it's, the energy moves with it. Sometimes it's, yeah, now it's going around in a circle, but it's a little bit of a yellow light.
And can you ask Joy and other angels and some of your big loving beings to come in and do extra that you know is not me on or around or in the light? What are you getting?
Ask them to put light into where your fingers are
Yeah,
moving.
you'll get an extra. You might get objects, you might get flares, sparks, a vortex, an orb, geometric pattern. You might get animal. People have seen angels. They've gotten all sorts of stuff. But here, hold on. You get another dad joke, more importantly. What's the only flower found on the human face? Tulips. What are you getting from the universe making extra light that you know is not my light? You're getting some extra pattern, design, object. What are you getting?
You know what a ball of string looks like?
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing. Like a ball of string. And like that just tells me there's this infinite patterns, right? There's so many geometric patterns, so many infinite patterns of energy that we can tap into. It's all there already. It's like one of my teachers used to say, why try to create a whole new pattern of something when it already exists and just go tap into the energy of it and then let it flow through you and let it be your own creation. But the energy of it is there. So the energy of abundance is already there. The energy of love, of healing, of inner peace, of expanded consciousness, it's already there. So allow yourself to be part of it.
It's a constant. Open your eyes to find it and feel it. Don't think your way there. Here's two more figures. We got a fairy named Ginger and Joy. They're going to just remind you of a whole nother way to say the same thing all over again, but in another meaningful, impactful way. What are you getting this time?
That as much as people want to, oh boy, as much as people want to belong, and they do, and you do, allow yourself to be an individual. Do not become so ingrained in belonging that you lose your individuality and you become like everybody else.
I love this. Okay, so I'm going to read another little passage, get your reaction, but I'll also put up Joy, Charlotte, an angel who's a blue ball light. She's everybody's favorite teacher from third grade, third form if you live in Canada or New Zealand. But here's a little bit from angels. Faith in all can lead to a change in mankind, religious, non religious faith. It's the same letting go she's been talking about the whole time. This is about man bringing peace and joy to all. This is about your personal growth in your life and finding the next stage in your soul's development, as well as the continued evolution of mankind. The greatest gift is allowing all as growth and change. This is frightening for some. There's nothing to do here. Slow down the doing. Instead, breathe, smile, and relax. Appreciate all. Compassion for all is life. This is also about acceptance for all. Regard others as yourself generously and without fixation. Believe in all. So with Charlotte here, can you deliver another dose of amazingness and universal truth, which I think you've been on a roll?
Uh, I am getting so clearly that the expression of your uniqueness is what the world needs. It doesn't need, a hundred more of the same old. That you have a unique a unique being in you, and to be that authentic being, you need to allow yourself to express itself in its authentic form. And your authentic form doesn't come from the outer world, okay, or what anybody tells you you should be or influences you to be. You've got to go into your heart and let this authentic expression come out into the world, because you're like a snowflake. There's no one snowflake that is the same, yet there are millions of them when they fall from the sky. You are that snowflake. And that is in my book. So all of this just came to me seeing Charlotte.
And I'll put up Michael and do another. I jumped ahead. There's another paragraph that, again, is touching on everything you've talked about. Here's Michael just for flavor. And then here's why is being the key to all of this? Being is believing in all. You do not need to be like anyone else. Be you. You were just telling us that. Smile more, think less. 7% less, by the way, daily is the Olympic gold medal, according to Charlotte. I went off on a tangent. Smile more, think less. Do not permit others to dictate your well being. Own your own being in life. Love more and allow more. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. Again, this is why it's not about words or concepts, which are often just another form of egoic thinking. And always keep releasing so as to not allow walls to be rebuilt. Ego. What to release is exactly is never that important. These are mere details. Keep releasing. I think we're in the business as adulting. Kids don't do too much wall building. They just have fun. They're in the moment. But
Right.
as adults, we're all professional masonries, like whatever they're called, wall builders with stone, wood, you name it. I'll work with any material to know something to preclude possibility. Give me a minute. I'll be back to thinking in an hour.
Yes. Yeah, and it's true. We actually are happy beings, joyful beings. And you can be a positive, happy being and still be in a sad situation. I mean, I had that some years ago. And so I was aware, I was like, yes, I'm dealing with some very sad things and I feel sad and I would allow myself to cry. But I also said, but you know, Pauline, but you're typically a kind of happy, positive person. All right. So there's the reinforcement of that being happy and joyful doesn't mean you're going to be that in every moment, like if you're in the middle of a crisis, but that your essence is joy. Your essence is happiness, even if you are experiencing difficulty. And I think that if we can kind of keep a balance of that, it may help some people not go into deep negativity. And I know it could be easier said than done. I mean, I've seen people say, "Well, how am I supposed to be happy when this is happening?" I'm not saying be happy at what's happening. I'm saying but be learn to be a happy individual so that when something negative happens, you're not going down the rabbit hole into this horrible negativity. Keep in mind you can still be a happy person, all right? Even if you're grieving, right? Even if you're struggling at the moment, you can keep that positive energy around you and in your heart. I believe it actually starts more in the heart than the head.
Hmm. Okay, we're going to not flip that pancake. We're going to circle it with knife and fork. We're going to get away from the vacuuming metaphor. We're going to use a hot shower metaphor. Wayne Dyer, I think, talked about it. It's awfully hard to go take a hot shower and be upset about anything. You're either enjoying the hot shower or you're really not getting in there because you know you're there to relax in the hot shower. It's that either or. You can only be here. You can't be half up here, half here. You can't be half pregnant. But I'm going to put up Wayne Dyer and I'm going to get there in just a second. And you're going to talk about this more. There's two flows, your heart, and there's a million organizations, people, and experts, self-help, woo, woo, woo. Tony, what's his name? The famous guy who,
Robert.
yeah, Tony Robbins talks about it all the time. Wayne Dyer talked about it. Everybody talks about it. They all have their version. Whatever works for you, but remember, you've got your own version. This is, hold on, unconditional love, sparkliness, no limits, timelessness. What else could I say? Consciousness, you're going to tell us a version of it. Thinking is control, ego, fear, reacting, rejecting, worry, stress, all the rest of the stuff. Welcome to being human. And you get to choose where you put yourself. Here's Wayne Dyer, though, and do some more tuning in like you do to deliver another Rock of Gibraltar nugget. That's a huge nugget. And I'll just say the two things I think I've learned in 13 years. There's not a lot. I'm pretty vacuous, you know. But three things that I know. Angels exist, trust that it's so, and don't worry about doing any of the stuff that we're describing. Just ask the universe to get in here, whether it's nighttime, you're knocked out, and let them work on you at night to help you just laugh more, love more, smile more, or during the day, synchronicity and so on. And then how you spend your energy is how you spend it. Can't argue with that one. You do, and you're going to keep spending it however. And then where you put your focus is where you put your focus. Can't argue with that one either. But it's a little like surfing. You want to be a good surfer, pay attention to where you're turning your shoulders. That's the direction you're going to go. You want to have a good ride. Pay attention a little bit more. Be here a little bit more. Okay, what do you get with this whole hot shower? You can sing like an Italian opera star in the hot shower if you want.
When you're taking a hot shower, you're not worried about anything. It's me, myself, and I in there. And you can allow yourself to be you and you don't care. It's like you can dance and sing like no one's looking and you don't care if you're out of tune or yes, you don't. And he had a book, Sacred Self. And so when you're in the shower, you're your sacred self because you're just taking care of you and you're nobody sees what you're doing and good for that. And so be you. All right. So that's a very intimate moment with yourself where you can be you and no one's watching and you're not afraid and you can be vulnerable and be all that.
Self-love. But hey, get a direct quote. Let him come straight in, and then he'll give a direct quote, but you're going to have a whole nother enchilada to share with us as a result of him. He's going to come in with a little bit of a laugh. No try Yoda at home. You can hear him directly. I'll do Yoda's voice to distract everybody. Do, do not. There is no try. If that doesn't shake you up and get you to your heart giggling and being like, what a goofball as a host. I love this guy.
I'm just hearing like there's nothing you can't do and there's nothing you can't become. And so, do it, try it, start it without expectation, without expectation, without comparison, without competition. Do it at your own pace. It's like, New York, New York, right? I did it my way. Do it, do it your way.
You keep hitting home run after home run. Here's a definition of ego from Dull Knife, a Native American chief, I believe Cheyenne, who's a sweetie. He said, ego is, oh, no, compassion. Definition of compassion. So even more upbeat here. Compassion is being kind to yourself and letting go of past failures and accomplishments in the now. So being more compassionate, more gentle, just more being in the heart. To be or not to be, always the question. Uh, Talk to us. How do you describe the heart versus how do you describe density up here?
Oh, density is density is all your thoughts. It's all your worries, your thoughts, your insecurities, and your past and everything that's happened to you. And that is dense. I will tell you, when you're in your heart, you don't even think. You really don't think much. And boy, is that a place of peace. So we have all this density that we carry, all this baggage that we carry from childhood, from ancestry, from past lives, and it's all sitting in our energy field. And so we've got to lighten up that density. As I talk about my book, you've got to get rid of the balls and chains because the heart automatically opens when you start getting rid of all that density. All right. And we live on a dense planet. We live in the energy of the third dimension, which is dense, right? Keeps us down, keeps us limited, keeps us negative, keeps us small, all of that. Start letting go of the balls and chains, healing all the pieces of your life little by little, and you'll start to lighten up.
I
And the
love it.
heart opens, and it's necessary. We need the contrast of the density. And a lot of people say we need the contrast of the light and the dark and the density of the human energy field or of the being human. True, but we are coming into a time where we just don't need catastrophic density anymore. We don't need the degree of severity of contrast. We're not going to need that moving forward. So get rid of your density little by little, learn forgiveness, the answer is love, self-love. Self-love is the answer to everything. But people have to understand what self-love really is.
Hmm. All right, I'm going to put up Mary, the big Mary. And I'm going to show the photo that if you're from Ireland, Europe, you're familiar with it. You got to have it this way, especially if you're Catholic, religious in any way. I get it. Here is classic Mary. And so lock it in or pause this, come back and pause it if you need it that way. But we're going to connect to Mary. You're going to connect to Mary, and you're going to share a lot of love and compassion and a back to you can do it sort of thing. But I've got one modern photo of Mary that I absolutely love. We know photographs can't move. A historical photograph can't move, but Audrey Hepburn, well, if I can remember, we'll put her photo up in a bit. You'll get an eyebrow goes up, a smile, a wink, a nose wiggle, shoulder waggle. You get something and you'd be like, whoa. And there you get to meet your resistance, your ego, your structure, your density that says, no way, Jose, I didn't just see that. Your heart's like, oh my God, I love Audrey. Do it again. I just love. Yay. Here's Mary another way. If you could let her eyes sparkle, a smile, even though she's not smiling but close, let her smile more. And if you want to go cray cray crazy, it's the holidays, 'tis the season. Ask for rainbow glitter all around your room with an emphasis on Christmas colors, whatever that means to you. You won't have to vacuum later. No mean notes in the comments. Please subscribe, like, share. And what have you enjoyed about Pauline's um, coolest parts of her conversation? Emojis count as well. Do it. Here's Big Mary, and if you don't mind putting a hand up at home, folks, like she's a fireplace, feel what you can feel in your palms. You can use your whole body as well. In fact, get two different energies. Get the biggest sweeping, loving hug, head to toe on your back. Breathe extra to feel it. Shoulders up and down. And then on your palm, catch sparkle, warmth, joy, Christmas.
Her eyes exude it.
Aw. And you might get snowflakes with rainbow light all over them around the room. You won't have to shovel later. Nothing gets wet.
Yeah. Her eyes exude that warmth and that compassion and that love.
And she said once, and I'm quoting, and nothing that I say is original, like 99%. It's all angels and chiefs. I've been doing this a while. I know how to repeat stuff. But she said, love is a constant, or love is everywhere. Open your eyes to find love. Maybe we can use that as a launching point. She's got a last little reminder for you, how we can all be in our heart more. But Pauline, take it from here. You're at Oscar level delivery today.
What I'm focusing on is what you just said that she said, like love is everywhere. And it really is true. You just have to look and you have to find it. It's in the trees, it's in the grass, it's in the animals, it's in the squirrels running across the wires, it's in the bird that's sitting in your tree, it's in an ant that's crawling on a railing. The sky is there. Love is all of this is love. Even if you were to see a home, and when you see a lot of homes with these beautiful Christmas decorations, it's love because people are putting out a statement or a blessing, a statement, an energy of joy or celebration. Love is truly everywhere. And then take that in, breathe it into your heart, breathe it into your heart, and let yourself just stop, be silent, look at it, breathe it in, okay? And feel the love. The oceans, the sand, it's all love.
Okay, and if you would, you can close your eyes and we're going to have a few figures come in. Archangel Michael, Joyce, Charlotte, Mary. We'll figure out who's going to do what, but I'm going to put up one photo before you close your eyes. Might as well get Audrey Hepburn. I mentioned her. And she's a fabulous angel. She doesn't mind. She's always dressed to the nines. I've never heard of anyone seeing her in shorts and a t-shirt. Now that I said it, maybe she will, but she loves a little extra, I don't know what to call it, flamboyance, sparks, light coming in. So here's that photo. Here's something from her. Catch floral or an uninvented perfume from Milan or Paris in the air. Now, how can you possibly catch a smell out of the blue like this? But you can. You have to allow for it. You got to be more like 5, 6, 10 years old. Whenever you are at max creativity and allowing, what are you getting in the air around you?
Like a gardenia.
Oh, but ask for all your angels, Michael, even have your dad come in, close your eyes, and this is all about letting go. 'Tis the season. And back to your message of love. It's really big. Only our thinking can reduce it, and it can reduce it a
Yeah.
lot to the point where decades at a time we're like, whatever. Love, Welcome to being human.
Well, love is the answer, right? And we were created in the image of love. So that energy is what our soul is already made of. And so anything that's in the way of that, the density of the human life, the mind, the negativity, the hurtful feelings, it need to be processed and worked through because at the end of the day, when you go to sleep and you're in a, a theta state or whatever, a delta state, whatever state, you're a sleep state, your soul is completely whole and filled with love. So you're really never without it. And so it's a matter of recognizing that, being aware of that. Even if you can't feel it in the moment, remember you were created in the image of love and it has not left you. It is completely within you, all of it. Think that's the greatness that God has created us with, is this power of love. That is what the soul's essence is, love. So never forget that. Never forget that.
I love it. Hey, I'm going to do this to distract. Just a lighter, a little bit of light. And then I'm going to put my hand up. You're in Long Island. I'm in Texas. If you want to feel my energy, let us know what you're feeling with one hand, only love and above. So here, let angels really make this
Oh,
connection possible.
I feel like you're tickling me. Okay. I almost feel like you're tickling me, like you're getting some little devious joy out of like just like tickling. It's a laughter. That's what I'm
Oh,
getting. Instantly.
uh,
Instantly.
well, I'm going to whoosh you 3 times, small, medium, and large. And then we're going to do something else. You're about to get a lot from angels and have a very experiential thing direct. I won't be involved, but I want to set the table with this one little whoosh. Danny Meyer setting the table. So there's customer service. We did a good job on the show. Then there's hospitality, which is where you're already at with your heart. You got all the love in the world in you. Most of us will never allow for that, at least for a decade. We got to go hang out with Thich Nhat Hanh, or back when he was alive. We got to go to India to the ashram for 10 months and do our, everything there. We just can't allow for it right here and now. So let's do it. Here comes a little whoosh. I'm going to blow. My microphone today is up above. Catch a little Hawaii in the room, little sea spritz on your nose, but blame angels. Don't blame Canada. Here comes a lot of love your way. Pauline Rafaela, we love you. Here we go. Where'd you get that one?
It went right into the etheric heart. Okay. It went right into the divine heart. That, yes. And
Okay.
when you're touched there, it goes very deep.
Aw. And then she might have been Nefertiti in ancient Egypt. So whether that's true or not, I think it is. Tons of people have actually chatted with her about this. Let everything be how it is. Don't worry about it if you can't allow for it. But you could allow for a little incense from ancient Egypt thousands of years ago that only a few hundred folks have had in 2024. Why not be one of them? So catch
Oh,
something that's such an exotic incense that you're like, oh my God.
oh,
Rock.
I can relate to Nefertiti, so I can definitely relate to her. And it's like there's like a sandalwood. I can the sandalwood. I can relate to that one.
Okay, here comes another one, medium this time. If people are at home and they're like, no, I'll take it big. Go big right away. There's no one telling you it's got to be any one way. Just allow with capital A. That's being in your heart. What do you do to play tennis? What do you do to turn the shower on? Do you judge it? No, I better not turn the shower on for exactly 1 hour. Better go watch the Discovery Channel to learn how to turn my shower on. No, you just do it. That's like everything we're talking about. Just do it. Okay, here it comes. My hand's hot now. So this is a different vibration. Let Joy and Michael and everybody, your crew, give you a little holiday cheer. Here comes the big whoosh again. And how was that different?
It was different. There was just sort of I feel like a gentle upliftment, joy. I felt just like a joy.
Okay. And then the last one, we'll let Mother Hawaii Min, light waves of energy and water. If you just say, sock it to me, catch all the love in the world, ask to get reverberated, call it Shakti Pot, call it going all the way to spring. What would your brain allow for to get a lot of love that continues? Why settle for just the moment when you can have it ripple out for at least the rest of the day? Go crazy tomorrow as well. Want to go really crazy through the weekend? Most people are like, well, okay, fine. I'll allow for the rest of December to have a lot of good wind in my sails. The universe is really big. Why not? But a few of us are like, hey, why not all of 2025? Why can't I giggle out of the blue next week for no reason because angels came in? So here we go. And one dad joke that'll get you laughing. That's easy. Bert and Ernie, Sesame Street. Bert offers Ernie ice cream. What's Ernie say? Sure, Bert. Here it comes.
Mhm.
And how was that different?
I feel like it's almost like activating the neural pathways of divine love, okay, in the brain. And my throat, and my throat is, I gotta clear my throat. So that would be just more of an expression, more of an expression. And this is not just about expression and communication. This is also the center of following divine will. That is following the divine path, not the path you think you should be on, but the divine path. And sometimes we just don't get a big picture of that right away, but it shows itself one step at a time.
Okay, if it's a game show, all the bells and whistles just went off. You win a bonus round, and I'm gonna look like a goose. I'm gonna double ping pong left and right, but you're gonna bring in Mary, and then Mary Magdalene, you're gonna let Mary Magdalene and Mary do their thing, and you're gonna talk for a while after this, but you're gonna get whacked. And I mean this spiritually whacked in a good way. It's a lot of love. You might get rocked a little, especially your back, your front, who knows? If anybody remembers Happy Days, it's the Malachi Crunch. I think I got that right. I don't. I do a lot of TV and movie references. Here's Mary again. Here's something privately about in English, the way you like to hear it. What you're about to receive. I'll just say lots of love out loud. What are you willing to allow for at home? And then the best I can do is I'm double whooshing, but with your permission, with your eyes open, let all the angels make a little light symbol for you first, right here. It'll go into your field. You can close your eyes after that. You'll hear from all of them what sort of gift you're getting. 'Tis the season. This is like getting a gift bag. You went to a big gala thing in New York and you get the gift bag as you're exiting. Yay. So I'm going to whoosh like this. I'm going to blow, catch a little light symbol. It's a frequency transmission. I don't know any more than that. Blame angels. Um, they'll tell you what it's about. Are you ready to say yep? Okay,
Yep,
here we go. See a little light. If your eyes are open, catch it, and then close your eyes. If your eyes are closed, you might as well see it that way. Breathe extra loud in your field and have Charlotte, Joy, Mary Magdalene explain.
and it's the divine presence, truly allowing in divine presence, divine energy, divine presence. And it touches the heart, not just to know that there's a divinity within you, but to feel it, to let yourself feel it. And that's the inner work that has to be done, because that divine presence is is what's needed. It's where we're headed if you allow it. Be part of that. And Mary Magdalene is as she's working through me more and more. And this is all about healing of the wounds and love and compassion through the healing of the wounds and the awakening to the divine love.
Is it easier for men to let go? Is it easier for women, or is it just each human? It's completely different, depends on their circumstances. It's situational. What is this about again for letting go? Is it one way or the other, or it just depends?
I believe it's a choice. It's a choice whether you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what you've been through. It really becomes a choice to let go and open up. It's a choice. And then the journey begins. And you make that choice, right? You make that choice by saying, I make that choice now. I don't know what it's going to look like or how it's going to unfold, but I make that choice for myself because that's the best thing that I can do for me in this here and now. To the best that I know, I'm human and I'm here at this moment. And however it is this life is supposed to unfold, I make that choice for myself right now to understand my divinity.
I'm going to use Thich Nhat Hanh as an example here, but you can hear a Buddhist temple chime or incense from a Buddhist temple out of Vietnam if you want, or golden flecks of light everywhere. But if this is love or letting go and you're experiencing it all day long, like flipping a light switch, hitting a tennis ball winner, a pickleball shot, it doesn't have to be a winner, but you're just letting go, performing, putting on your jeans, doing a sales call, and you got the yes. You're really good at your job. You love it. And anything else, pouring tea, sipping it, and enjoying it. Olympic medal. Um, but then there's up here, thinking, resisting, judging, judging the preclusion of possibility, knowing to the preclusion of possibility. That's most of mankind's currency these days. Not for much longer, hopefully. There's this and this. This is like a hot stove. And you learned at some age never to touch one of those old hot stoves where it's red hot. You're like, hey,
Mhm.
I wonder if it's hot. Duh. And yet it takes a while for us to discover the difference. Do you want to be happy, let go in any direction in life, or do you want to be stuck? Stuckness, suchness, stuckness. Okay, talk to us about those energies using Mary Magdalene, and I'll put up two angels. But once it's what you just said, once you learn the difference for real as an adult, you remember what you forgot as a kid, you're off to the races. And with that, what's your reaction?
There is an honoring of one's life, okay, of what your soul chose to experience here, not only to evolve itself, but to evolve the world. And there is an honoring and a sacredness of you, your life, your beingness. And that must be recognized. So, compassion, respect, love, honoring for yourself. And when you can begin to do that, you can truly begin to do it for others.
Oh, I love it. I'll do three quotes for you, then you're going to wrap us up. So I don't know who these quotes are from. Winnie the Pooh, Chogyam Trungpa, Gary Zukav, Einstein. I think we have Herman Melville in here. 18 pages of quotes. I'm going to try to randomly do it, but it never quite works out that way. Okay. Chogyam Trungpa said in 2020, even though he passed in 1987 or so, the journey is real, more real than the waking dream of your usual life. Pay attention. Wayne Dyer, you leave old habits behind by starting out with the thought, I release the need for this in my life, what you were telling us earlier. And then last one, we'll get your reaction on any or all of them and so on. What to know about angels? This is Joy, Charlotte, Penelope, and Minwala, answering this. They just do a little reminder. They exist within and around you. They coexist with you. What's your reaction to any or all of those quotes? What comes up?
Mhm. What comes up is to remember the past is the past and it doesn't serve you in the future. And so it gives great impetus to release the past and to do that work, regardless of how long it takes, but to recognize that staying in the past doesn't serve your future. And you have future dreams, and we all have future dreams, whatever that may be. We all have them. And we must allow for those dreams to be manifested because they can. They will come to you. Nothing from the past serves you unless you must learn the lesson from the past and make sure that it's not repeated. And you can do this. You have the power to do this. The power is within, the power is reaching up to God, angels, allowing, be in the present moment, keep coming into the present moment and keep saying, this doesn't serve me anymore. I allow myself to step into something better.
Hmm. Okay, last little bit. Love, 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 love. Ben Stiller, Heartbreak Kid. I think that's the name of the movie. So, talk to us one more time about this whole love factor thing. It's true. We're connected to everyone and everything. Somehow we can be more at peace in each moment and get more done somehow too. What's this about again? This is your closing reminder to us all. Tis the season again.
'Tis the season. You know, one of the biggest gifts you bring to yourself and to the world is to love yourself and to understand what that means, what self-love means. And self-love means healing your life and healing your things, but also it means allowing yourself to be your greatest self. That is one of the greatest gifts that we give ourselves and the world, because when we come out of ego, or we have our ego in check, we need a little bit of ego. So when we have, when we keep ourselves in check, we become the better versions of ourselves. And then, and we're not holding grudges, and we're not calling people names, and we're not looking at people as we're divided on this side or that side. And that is the future. The future has no place for any of that. And learning to love yourself actually opens up these floodgates for you to get into that space where you're more in the oneness. You're more in the oneness of love connection and love vibration. And so self-love is the answer. It's in my book. It's all about how you become this better version of yourself by loving yourself. And this is not conceited. This is not about, well, I get massages every week. Okay, that's pampering. That's not self-love. Self-love is truly accepting yourself for your shadow side, your challenges, your greatness, and building upon that. It is very important as we move forward. 2025 in my view is the great reveal and the great awakening. And we have been awakening, people have been awakening, but there's a much greater ascension awakening forthcoming. And we need to step into that sort of self-love. Who am I and why am I here?
Mm. Okay, and then more buzzers and lights went off on the game show. Quick digress before we close it out. I got four quick photos for you. Debbie Ford on the shadow work side, allowing. She's
Yes,
unconditional love, helping us all still today. On the
yes,
other side, Ariel Ford's been on the show. You can check out her sister earlier on. You have to look up on my website for the show list, but you'll find her there. And then unconditional love at a universal level. If there was ever a photo of it, this is the same object photographed one way, different time of the day. Feel a lot of love and light. But here's the same object. It's a hummingbird feeder made out of glass.
it's beautiful.
And I'm going to put up four archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, and also Rebecca. You met her before the show. She's from really far away where music came from way, way, way out there. If you don't mind closing your eyes and getting one last, if you don't mind moving your hands somehow, breathing, Esther, do anything unusual to get out of what you know and to get one last vibrational, the giant ohm of the universe. But I think it's going to be more melodic or flowing, more fun, sparkly. And it'll be the final last bit of reminder, not just for you, for me, for everyone. What's
Oh, from the galactic energies. If you only knew who you were, who you are, everything would be just perfect. And it is. If you only knew who you were. They see us on this journey, but if we only knew our true essence, we would be floored. We'd be floored. Our jaws would drop and we would say, "That's me." And they're saying from out there, "That's you."
ah, can't wait to have you back on. Pauline
Okay.
Rafaela coming to us from Long Island, New York. You're incredible. Every time you get on, you wow. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you and to all the listeners. Sending many blessings, many love, much love. I do have an online community in case anybody's interested in online events where I do a lot of energy upgrades. They're extremely powerful. We switch timelines. We just keep jumping timelines. And that's because we're doing a lot of deep letting go, but the way that it happens in a group setting, it's phenomenal. We're all just like, wow, who am I right now? Whoever I was an hour ago, that's not who I am right now. I'm somebody new right now. And so it's quite fascinating.
I look.
I'll have to invite you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And great seeing you again. Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you.